Alrighty, so it's here. The big one is here. Obviously, as you can tell from this here, the new festival is starting tomorrow night, whenever the patch goes live. It is an early maintenance. I figured that the patch notes were actually going to go live a bit earlier than this, but for this, for 8 p.m., this is PDT. For me specifically, it'll be 3 hours ahead of this, so that would be 11 p.m. for me. So we will be doing live summons on the channel. If you would like to come by and either wish me luck or see me get shafted or whatever the case may be, I'm going to be doing live summons, so feel free to subscribe if you're not already, or if you just enjoy the content or whatever. We're trying to hit 12K before the end of the year, which is pretty acceptable. I think we can do it, especially with all of the hype around the one Escanor, of course. So let's hop into these patch notes. We're going to be going over the entire thing. I kind of skimmed over the JP patch notes whenever those came out, but I'm interested to see all of it now that it's translated and everything. So obviously the first thing we have is this infographic, I guess, to show us what we're getting, which is the 3.5-year anniversary festival draw, 3.5 anniversary ultimate festival draw, sorry. Fire of Life Ultimate Escanor, 3.5 anniversary new artifacts added, so they're adding new artifact cards, not holy relics. Apparently there were some holy relics that were data mined for Nanashi and Thonar, which Thonar's definitely a very interesting one. Obviously they're not in the game or anything yet. Potentially next patch, we'll have to see whenever the JP patch notes come out this week, or it could be for the half update or whatever for the anniversary, so 2 weeks from now for us, another week or so for JP. Special event boss battle. So indigenous purgatory creature. We're basically going to be able to fight one of the big grasshopper sort of enemies that they fight in purgatory, which I think is actually kind of a cool concept for a boss. So interested to see that one. It's not just a copy paste of an old boss, which I'm very happy about, of course. I think a lot of people will be. Main story chapter 25 is going to be available. So as long as this actually completes chapter 24, you should get 30 diamonds if you're already caught up with the story. And of course, there's always some pretty decent rewards and everything within the new chapter whenever you do that. And I've seen a little bit of the stuff in this story chapter, and it's really cool stuff. So I'll probably try to make a video on that or go over some of the things that I think is cool whenever this patch comes out or whatever. It won't be like a necessity or anything because everybody can do the story, whatever, but I'll probably highlight some of the things that I found cool. 3.5-year anniversary ultimate Jumpbox event. So this one is pretty interesting. This one is basically you're going to be getting these little hawk tickets, and there's just free rewards through using the hawk tickets or whatever, but there's a lot of free SSRs that you get. You get a free copy of Green Brunhild, a brand new Griamore that's blue, SSR blue Griamore, a couple of other characters that are, you know, pretty alright and everything, but just free characters in general, plus you get a ticket that gives you a free festival character, and it's a lot of the older festival characters that you get to choose from, unfortunately, but there's actually some decent choices in there. So check-in event for up to 200 free diamonds. That is going to be a month-long check-in event through the entirety of the festival, so you'll be getting just diamonds consistently through the course of the festival, which is really nice. And then Operation Clear Leonis, which is kind of like a weird like board game style event that they're doing. We'll kind of look at that a little bit as we get to it in the patch notes, but 3.5 anniversary, the ultimate one. So we obviously have brand new, the one ultimate, who is ridiculously big and bulky and on fire. So he's pretty cool. He's insanely good if you haven't seen already. I'm pretty sure I'll have a video coming out in the morning as of the time of this coming out of, you know, whether or not you should be summoning or not, which obviously you probably should, but I go into more specifics and everything in that. New Griamore, of course, which is interesting. I was really hoping that he would be like a really good character to throw with Naofumi, but I think that he could be interesting, but he's not like a perfect unit to throw on the team or anything. So yeah, obviously new story chapter. We do get 3 new costumes for the one Escanor. I gotta be honest, I think a lot of his costumes are okay, but they're not really what I would want. So I'm not super sure which of these I'm gonna be using personally, but I don't know. I'm sure if you're a big Escanor fan, you probably are in love with all of these, to be honest, because he's just, I don't know, he embodies these outfits. Like he fits really well in all of these. I would think so, but I don't know. Just personally, not a big fan of the way that they look. I'm kind of hoping he gets an additional costume at some point that looks a little bit better, but I don't know. Festival coin shop. So you will be able to exchange 3 festival coins for one of these of your choice, I guess, which is actually kind of nice because some of the newer festivals are in here. Obviously not like the brand newest ones, like Esterosa's not in here. You don't have Margaret in here for whatever reason, but a lot of the Sins and everything. So you have Lost Vein, you know, these are pretty much all the old ones up until, I think these are just the best 3 to get in general. Maybe not as much for Festival Gother anymore. Like, he's still good, but I would definitely recommend, if you don't have King in general, grab a copy of King. He does have a really good ultimate as well, and then Queen Deanne obviously has a really nice ult as well. So there is a new card set. This card set is for stances, so we can read it right here. It says decreases damage taken by allies assuming stance by N%, so that's all the way up to 10%, and then increases regeneration rate, which is actually, if you're not aware, regeneration rate is actually a really good stat. If you can push your regen rate, like you basically like heal like an insanely large amount, which is one of the biggest reasons why like boosting all stats on characters is like a really good thing. Like, obviously it's not just regeneration rate going into effect there, but regeneration rate is kind of an underrated skill, or like a stat. So boost that by X%, so all the way up to 5%, up to 5 times when taking damage from enemy skills. So that's very cool. We're getting the new Cookies and Cream Parfait, which is the original demon food. So this is basically going to double the amount of original demon materials that you're going to get for every single run. Which is fantastic. Honestly, I have been waiting for this to come out ever since the OG Demon dropped, and very happy to see this. Obviously, you can buy it through the Knighthood shop. You can buy 10 of those per week, and then you can buy 5 of them from the PvP shop per week, I'm pretty sure. So, Skinny Escanor is going to be a new check-in hero that you can swap to. I'm not sure if this is going to be just like a festival only kind of thing, or if you can, like, you're going to be able to use him from now on, because I know they get rid of the collab characters, of course, but I don't know. I kind of hope you can keep him as your check-in event and it doesn't go away at some point, but I don't know. I mean, he does work in the thing, but you can choose other characters that work there too. Belgius is on rotation starting during the next Knighthood boss reset, which is on Sundays. So yeah, Belgius will be here, which is kind of fine. I'm not a big fan of Belgius, but he's definitely not the worst out of all 4 of them, so that's fine with me. New diamond shop bundles. So this is all of the diamond, like if you buy diamonds right now, you'll be able to get tickets for the one Escanor's banner, which is fine if you're wanting to do extra, summons and everything like that. You'll probably end up buying these because he's very hype, I guess. New Grand Cross 3.5 anniversary Ultimate Festival bundle. So I was looking at this one. It says One Step Evolution bundle. I assume that this is a 1-to-100, but I could be wrong on that because we've seen the 1-to-90 coin and it doesn't look quite like this. So I'm not positive if that's a 1-to-100, but if it is, that's actually pretty cool. I don't know how much this is going to cost, but you can make these insanely easily, so I guess this is actually really nice, but at the same time, I guess it's depending on the price, it would be maybe worth it or not. I'm pretty sure these bundles right here are like 99 cents, which isn't too bad. You get 3 tickets and 1 diamond, some stamina pots. We have the normal diamond bundles or whatever. I think one of them's like around $40 to $50. One of them's around $80 to $100, if I'm not mistaken. Then we have equipment bundle, costume enhancement bundle, and then it looks like we have a starter bundle. The fact that it says starter bundle makes me think that it could be kind of cheap and worth getting, which, I don't know. I'll try to keep my eye out on that one. 10 million gold is actually kind of cool. I mean, obviously, it's just gold. You can farm that pretty easily. Plus, they're changing the way gold farming works in this update. You can actually see it right here. But you also have a power-up bundle with some demon mats as well, so nothing too crazy. Gold dungeon changes. So these are just the system updates, like quality of life changes and stuff like that in general. But stamina requirements in Gold Dungeon Fort Solgris have been reduced by half. A pop-up message has been added letting players know when they have exceeded gold reserve limit and can no longer access the dungeon. So they actually told us how much it was going to be in the dev notes and in the JP patch notes. I'm not sure why they decided to be more vague in the global patch notes for whatever reason, but if you have 1 billion gold or more, you will not be able to access the gold farming, or the gold dungeon, which is a little bit odd to me. Like, why limit it? But at the same time, I guess it is what it is. So, oh well. Rewards obtained through the golden dungeon will no longer be converted into treasure boxes. Instead, it will be directly converted to gold and added to the player's current resources. So, I'm not exactly sure how this works just yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to make using gold food a lot better, I would imagine. I don't know. I haven't really seen anybody talk about this, of course, because Escanor is way more high priority for people to make videos on, of course, but because I don't play JP or anything, I haven't been able to actually test any of this, but I'm actually interested to see if it comes out to around the same amount of gold that you would normally get for the treasure boxes and everything. And then it says Veronica's Blessing will, which increases all gold received by 20% upon the sale of treasure chests, will be applied to the gold directly obtained from the golden dungeon. So you basically have, they're making it sound like it's going to be the same, if not better. So that sounds good to me. Stamina and stamina recovery potion changes. So they're basically making it to where AP pots now, instead of being like corresponding to what rank you are in the game. So like, well, I can't show you because I'm farming gold. But if you're in the game and like you're level 20, for example, and you use the stamina potion, it would basically give you like 20 or 21 stamina back for whatever reason. And now they're basically just changing it to where anytime you use a stamina potion, no matter what rank you are, they're just changing it to a flat rate of you're going to get 120 stamina per potion, end all be all. So right now, I have a maximum of, you either have a maximum of 109 or 110, depending on if you're using the tavern piece that I use. So I would get 110 stamina back, you know, whenever I use a potion. But now I actually get an additional 10 stamina from that because they're basically pushing it over the current limit. So you get 120 back for every potion, which is good. I think that's nice. Knighthood competition team setting option change, so you can basically set your Knighthood Guild Wars teams and stuff like that while there's not a season active, which is good if you're able to participate, but it's a very, very niche sort of game mode that very few actual players have access to because you have to be in one of the top guilds. So kind of unfortunate that most people can't actually participate in this, but if you can, you'll be able to mess around with that, which is cool, I guess. Affection Display Edition. So now in the filters or whatever that you can put on in your box, you can scroll over and you can look at Affection, which will show you how many hearts out of whatever your maximum is at the moment you have, which is cool, I guess. I doubt anybody will really use that, but who knows, maybe. Knighthood Boss Battle / Final Boss Battle Mission Detail Option Edition. So this one's actually really, really nice. I could have swore that this should have been a feature really long time ago, but they're finally adding it. So players will now be able to check mission details through the Knighthood Boss Battle / Final Boss Battle screen. So instead of just hitting this button over here on the right and it just telling you like, you get this many points for doing this, and it's just like a really long list of stuff, like you get this many for dissolves, this many for ultimate moves, this many for moving skills, blah blah blah. You'll actually be able to see what the current missions are and if you have them completed during your run. So that's actually really nice because these equate to way more score than most of anything else in the actual like fight itself. So that's really nice. Hero's Way completion reward display changes. The Hero's Way tier completion reward display has been optimized, so if you still need to mess around with Hero's Way, it looks like it's going to be a little bit nicer and neater, maybe. Special mission screen optimization. So the special mission event UI has been optimized, so that's fine. I'm not sure what it looks like anymore, to be honest. Like, I couldn't tell you what it looked like off the top of my head, but I'm sure we'll see what it looks like now once we get the update. Draw animation addition. So this one is a really big one. Flame of Life Ultimate Escanor draw animation has been added. So I'm pretty sure by the wording of this alone, which after watching Nagato's summons, I haven't watched anybody else's summons, but it seems like if you get the new Ultimate Escanor draw animation, it's a guaranteed the one ultimate in your pull. I don't know if it's that specifically, but it's what it seems like, because every time he got the animation when he was summoning, he got, you know, the one Escanor ultimate in the multi. So I'm pretty sure that's what it equates to. Could be wrong on that. It could be just, you know, like you get 2 SSRs or whatever the case may be, but I'm pretty sure it's for him specifically. So that is really cool. It is a really cool animation. Hopefully we'll get it tomorrow night when we do summons. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, new events. We have the Jumpbox Event, Check-in Event 1 and 2, Special Missions, Blessing of Fire, Operation Clear Leonis Event. Are they just skipping? Okay, they just, what? They're not showing any images for this at all? Okay. So the Jumpbox event is going to be... wow, do I just open up the JP patch notes because they did it way better? Like, what is up with Global lately? I don't know what it is. Ever since the Assault Melee boycott thing happened, like 2 years ago, Global has been just completely lacking for whatever reason. Not really sure why they are just so like just mad at the player base, or just really doing the bare minimum. But the Jumpbox event itself, obviously it takes forever for the JP patch notes to load for some reason, like the actual images on these. So JP, or yeah, Jumping Box event. So this is the one where you're actually going to be using these little hawk tickets that you get, and basically, do they have it shown here? Okay, so these are the actual event rewards itself. So this is what I was talking to you about earlier. Basically, you're going to get a couple of SSRs in here and just a bunch of these equipment tickets along with a couple of other things. So you get a free copy of Green Hawk, Red Escanor, Red Gother, Red Sariel, Green Brunhild, Green Ragnarok Merlin, who is whatever, and then the new Blue Griamore, which is actually pretty cool. You get them all at UR level 90, fully awakened, not super awakened. So you basically get them and don't have to do a whole lot of powering up or anything like that, which is really, really nice. The equipment tickets and everything are kind of cool as well. I'm not exactly sure if these are like new kinds of equipment tickets or what, but I'm definitely, I guess I can use those. I don't really use the ones that I already have, but you can see right here, on the 20th step, you get a UR Festival ticket, which you can see right here is an exchange ticket that you can use to get a copy of either, you get to choose between Lostvayne, Goddess Elizabeth, Small Wings OG Fest King, the one Escanor, the original, not the new one, of course, Lolly Merlin, and Purgatory Bond. So, of course, if you don't have any of these characters specifically, it's always nice to have at least one copy of a character, in my personal opinion. But if you just want to go for pure dupes, because a lot of these characters you don't really get to use anymore, like Lostvayne doesn't have a whole lot of use unless you're using him for, like, the niche, like, Tower of Trials floor here and there. Goddess Liz isn't very useful anymore. I mean, she can be if you want to use her. I don't know, but she's not nearly as good as she used to be. Small Wings King, I've tried to make him work so many times, but he is pretty bad in general. I think everybody pretty much already has a copy of Escanor. During the one of the last couple of festivals that they did, you got a free copy of him. But if you're new and you don't have him, he's still really good. Lolly Merlin's kind of useful here and there, and then Purgatory Bond is still actually in the meta since his release, so he's probably the one that I would recommend you get if you have the choice. But there are 2 login events, so you can see check-in event 1 and 2. Basically, one of them is the diamonds one. You're going to get 200 free diamonds over the course of a month, and then the other one is a 28-day login, so basically a month, and then you're going to get these little tickets that you use for the Jumping Box event. So that's what you're going to actually use to go through the rewards here. So that's cool. I don't know why they didn't show any of this in the patch notes. Special missions, of course, we have. Obviously, this is in Japanese. I can show. I think Grand Cross Database actually translated the missions, if I'm not mistaken. So. Unfortunately, it's going to load, but here's basically, you're going to get a free multis worth of Escanor draw tickets. You're going to get a whole bunch of the other Hawk tickets that you use for the Jumping Box event, a couple of other rewards, and then once you complete them all, you actually get a level 90 token, which basically powers up a character from level 1 all the way to level 90, which is really, really nice. And what else do we have? We have the Blessing of Fire. So if you've played during any of the last like bigger festivals, they basically did Blessing of the Goddess or Blessing of the Demon, I think, for Estarossa. And it's basically just going to be these small little boosts that you sort of build up points over time, and then you can invest them into different boosts that will basically just increase different things throughout the event. Like, I'm pretty sure they do ones for, like, you can see kind of down here at the bottom, it'll boost your drops for the Red Demon, or you can do ones for the Gray Demon or Hallex, or once they unlock tiers 3 and 4, you can do Belmoth and OG Demon, and there's ones for, like, boosting the amount of drops you get from the event bosses, and just different kinds of rewards and stuff like that during the actual festival itself. So you want to try to like check this every once in a while, make sure you grab rewards as they're available to you, so that way you just get more out of your experience as you do the festival. Operation Clear Leonis event is this one right here. Like I said, it's kind of just like a board game almost, but it's like a weird, it reminds me of like Clash of Clans or something. I've never actually played it, but this is what it would remind me of. You basically have like a couple of different buildings where you just sort of build up resources over time, and then you use those resources to sort of like explore through this board and get free rewards and stuff like that as you take tiles and do whatever you need to do. I'm not exactly sure how it plays yet, but it looks actually really fun, so I'm looking forward to messing around with that some. Special event boss, Indigenous Purgatory Creature and Exchange Shop. So this is the actual fight itself, like the monster that you're going to be fighting. It's the big grasshopper from Purgatory, but there's some pretty decent rewards. You get a pair of gloves for Escanor, so he'll basically already have his 5th weapon, which is pretty cool. You get some of the card packs and everything like that for the new card set, along with some other, sort of traditional rewards, of course. Fort Solgris Reward Dungeon, of course, is coming back, so, they pretty much do this anytime they can, whether it be a collab or a festival or whatever. You'll be able to do this for 1 stamina each time, or once per day, and get a really good amount of rewards, so I recommend you do that as much as you possibly can. Festival Coin Exchange Event, which I'm assuming is just the, the coin shop update, where if you pull 3 festivals you can exchange them, so that's pretty normal. King's Upgrade Material Event, of course. So if you go to King, you go to the event exchange shop, you can actually trade a bunch of materials that normally you kind of sit on and just sort of build up over time, and you can trade them for decent rewards, like rare pendants for anvils, etc., etc. So these are actually really nice. I think this is probably one of my favorite events that they kind of just bring back pretty regularly. And then Power Up Event Part 1. So I think it's this. So patrol tickets are doubled, Merlin engraving fees are 50% off, and then clear Belmoth in one go. Oh, so yeah, they're bringing back. Why do they not put more info on this? What is up with that? They're basically bringing back consecutive clear for Belmoth and OG Demon, so that's really, really good. Everybody's been complaining that they took that away, so yeah. Event Hawk Pass and costume return. We're still 1 Hawk Pass behind at the moment, so we're not actually getting this new Merlin costume, but I'm pretty sure we're getting the Estarossa costume during this one for us on Global. But they're also bringing back a whole bunch of the old school like chef outfits and everything from some of the previous years, sort of like Hawk Passes that they did. So you can get one for Purgatory Bond, Excalibur Arthur, Festival Zeldris, Festival Merlin, the old one, not the newer one, and Margaret, which is pretty cool. If you don't have those, or you just need some of the cosmetics or whatever, and you have a couple of extra points, or you just want to buy them because you don't have the points, now it's a good time to do so. In-game ad reward increase event. So they also, I don't know if it's, they basically just made it to where if you watch ads on the mobile version of the game, you can watch more ads and get more rewards per day than you used to be able to. So the Fort Solgris Roulette, you used to be able to do it 3 times a day. You'll be able to do it 5 times a day during the event. And then the free gacha, so you could do 1 free pull on the normal, like regular banner. You'll be able to do that 2 times a day now instead of 1 time, which is kind of cool. And then there is 1 new battle event. So yeah, other than that, that's pretty much all that they did. There's obviously some miscellaneous here. Oh, it's the if you haven't made your holy relics for the Shield Hero collab yet, make sure that you do that before this maintenance goes live and they actually push the update out, because they are going to be deleting those holy relic boxes and the materials inside of them out of your inventory. So make sure you do so. Either way, holy, that was a lot of talking. This could have been way longer if they would have actually just posted the the actual stuff like the JP people did, but either way, that we went over it regardless. So that is pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, I will be doing live summons, of course, so feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, so that way you can catch me tomorrow night when I go live to try to pull the 1 Escanor Ultimate. So that is it from me. See you in the next one.